Divorce Day Diaries, day 343 and 344, and I'm finally going to be dealing with this.
So yeah, it's been 3.5 months and I've still got stuff in boxes, but realistically, some of the stuff has actually been sitting in a box since like before I moved to Bulls, which was in 2016, so possibly over 10 years. So while I was out in the yard the other day, I noticed that my neighbour just happened to have some shelving out on his front lawn. He was selling it. So I went over and introduced myself, said, hey, I'll take these shelves off you, I'll just wire you the money, and if it doesn't come through, well, you know where I live. A great way to introduce myself to the neighbours. Effectively, he was selling 6 cube shelves, 2 regular size cube shelves, 2 king size cube shelves, and 2 fun size cube shelves. The fun size ones were not assembled, so I had to do that myself. They came with instructions. I didn't even use the instructions. I've had to assemble, disassemble, and reassemble so much furniture over the last almost a year now. Glad I picked up that ratcheting screwdriver the other day. Some of these cube shelves, they don't actually have the shelves in them. You can see in the display behind me there, that one sitting lengthways on top. It's missing some of the middle sections, and I decided to leave it like that because it will, I guess, break it up a wee bit and make it so there's like these little display areas. Because effectively, if you're wondering, what is in those boxes? It's actually a whole bunch of video game stuff that I acquired over the years. And immediately after assembling that fun-sized cube shelf, I can see that not only is it not... it's not the same size, it's also not the same colour. It's fine. I knew the moment I saw them and they were wood coloured that they probably weren't going to match anything I have anyway. I also finally decided to get the price sticker off that shelving unit I've got on the corner there. But it was when I was studying cooking that my head chef said to me once that you should never garnish or decorate a food with an even number. You don't put 2 of something on it. You don't put 4 of something on it. Take, for example, you've got a scoop of ice cream, 2 mint leaves on it. Looks like a human has planted 2 mint leaves on it. 3 mint leaves on it. Looks like some leaves fell out of a tree and landed on the ice cream. It's more it's more organic. It's less ordered, which just makes it look a little bit more natural. I'm just going to pretend like that's the theme I'm going for here with these multicolored, discolored, randomly sized shelves, that I'm going for an organic, natural feng shui. But as soon as those fun-sized shelves were set up and the big ones were where they needed to be, I then just decided to start unloading things. I started with my Xbox games, and as I was unloading them from the box, I immediately got overwhelmed by how much stuff I had, and then I just sort of realised what my problem was, which was that I was thinking too much, and I needed to think less, because if I was thinking, I'm not doing stuff. So I just started piling things into piles and shoving them on the shelves, and sure enough, I started making progress. I could have just stacked the games neatly into each of the cubes, but I didn't want to do that. I have all these like old school collector's edition steelbook cases, and I wanted to try and display them. So I found for each different cube, I tried to find a new and unique way to display the games that were in there. So we have Fallout with the lunchbox. I had a little Vault Boy, this fella, but don't know where he's gone. Dragon Age, Miscellaneous, Halo, Gears of War, Wolfenstein, Elder Scrolls, Fable. This is a personal favourite of mine, the Fable 3 Collector's Edition. It's a book, so obviously I've got to put it next to the books. And then Doom Bowl, which is the funniest thing I own, in my opinion. Bought that up from EB Games. Mass Effect, both genders, Lord of the Rings.
Lego, actually.
But we're not done, and I think I might take a break for today. I don't just have Xbox stuff. I used to have Nintendo 64 stuff, but I gave it to my brother before I moved down to Christchurch. But looking through boxes, I also have my old PlayStation stuff and some PC stuff. See all these discs in here of old computer games. Here's Half-Life 2. Oh, look. Call of Duty 2. There's a throwback. Oh, Zoo Tycoon. Oh, even better. Oh, it's the expansion pack. Oh, I don't have the original. That's a problem. I don't have a PC anyway, but... But I knew if I keep digging through that box, I'd be doing that all night. So, as I stated, took a break by going to one of my favourite places and grabbing a banh mi and sitting down and watching A Quiet Place Part 2. And then we're jumping back into it tomorrow. I figured I don't have a lot of computer stuff to display, a lot of PC stuff to display, so I figured I'd be able to fit it all in that little 2-cube shelf at the end there. So I got to organising all that, checking to making sure that I actually had CDs in some of these cases. Spoiler, I did not, but I have no idea where they are, but it's fine. And once that was done, I jumped onto the PlayStation stuff. Side note, while I was emptying this PlayStation box, I noticed there was a label on the side of the box. It was from a delivery in 2013. This box is older than my oldest child. And it's going in the recycling bin. I'm not holding on to that. The first thing you might have noticed is the old PlayStation 2, which actually has a crack in it from when someone stepped on it one time. I remember that happening, actually. I don't remember who did it, because it was one of those moments where it was like, who stepped on the PlayStation? And then nobody says anything, so Mum's like, must have been Casper the Ghost, because nobody here wants to say anything. And I can imagine how frustrating that is, because I still have to deal with that now with my kids. One of them stepped on a charger the other day, broke it, nobody said anything. Oh, well, I guess I'll just get a new charger. One thing I noticed while doing this is just how many cables the PlayStation comes with. You kind of forget how many cables these old consoles have when, like, nowadays all the controllers don't have wires. So a lot of them are just displaying as rat nests. So I haven't found my Buzz game. I don't know where it's ended up. I mean, I'm missing my PlayStation 3. I might have given it to my brother as well, but, you know, Buzz controllers, SingStar, PlayStation 2 with the iToy, both iToy 1 and 2, miscellaneous games, and the controllers. And then over here, I've got PC games in big boxes, PC games in little CD containers, manuals. I don't know why I've got manuals but not boxes. This is old school, the old CD container. But we're not done yet, actually, because I also have this. For CDs. Specifically musical CDs, albums. I actually mentioned in a previous video that I had a box of these CDs, and someone actually messaged me saying they live in Rolleston and they collect CDs, and would they be able to buy some? And I said, do you have any CD display cases? And they said yes, and that they could part with one. So I said, let's do a trade. I'll give you some CDs, you give me a CD display case, and now I can finally get those CDs out of the box and onto this display case. Or at least most of them anyway. I noticed during this process, because I have a lot of like deluxe edition albums that aren't normal CD sizes, and they weren't going to fit on here. Fortunately, I kept enough just regular CDs to fill out the whole tower, and then I ended up just displaying my deluxe ones on the cube shelf next door. And no, I didn't do them in any particular order. I just kind of grouped artists together. That is done, and I gotta say, my office feels a lot more homely now. There's something to be said about, like, just having stuff lying around that makes a house feel like a home. It certainly feels that way now. Although I've still got a whole bunch of stuff in this corner that I need to deal with, like this poster that still doesn't fit in that frame. I also have some space left over, but, like, realistically, I don't buy this sort of stuff anymore, so maybe I should endeavour to do that. Maybe I heard there's a game shop in Christchurch called Applebee's that sells second-hand game stuff. Maybe I should make a video and go there. Not right now, though. I've got the kids for this week. And I've got to work too. But anyway, catch you on the flip side.